Alright, 10 o'clock. I'm going to check the shit. So, DPW's in play. You know, naked gap Keltner, but at all-time highs, so you just want to make it prove itself. And, you know, so it's kind of into that pre-market level, right? Like that pre-market high of whatever, 580. So, you know, if it breaks out, kind of just like thinking about that like Riot trade yesterday. So if we break above, you know, new high of day, or start even catching volume, so right in here, wouldn't be wrong to go long. So that's what I was peeping. I got a third DPW back on the focus. I took it off mainly for an alert, but got through my alert. So just kind of looking at like when, and just like the difference of just like my mindset since your other video just talking about the difference between trigger and entry. It's not just or about triggers. It's not just the level, right? So I was like, okay, boom, 52-week high, you know, strong uptrending stock breaks to 52-week high. Like that's the setup. Then what's my trigger? Well, like, okay, gap up, go up, and then, you know, through the level, how's it acting? That's kind of the trigger, is like, what's, you know, volume's kind of okay, but not fantastic. And then, you know, how's it acting above the level? And we see it immediately, it came back through the level. So it was just like, you know, maybe old me would have been trying to buy this as some kind of like prior resistance, become support or something, I don't know. But anyway, just an example of how I feel like, you know, maybe my brain's working a little bit better. One, I wanted to point out that I feel like I missed from this day on Tuesday was Juno had this volume on Monday and kind of, you know, made like a short-term top here. So like, you know, like rejection from the all-time high, kind of went sideways in a wide range day. And then, well, it was really at the intraday charts, obviously, you know, volumes like bigger here. And once we hit this Cove L on this day, it was just like nice little tight sideways. So I feel like that was a layup I definitely missed yesterday. You know, it was definitely outside of my, you know, this is kind of like my optimal trading time right in here. You know, maybe even I could have gotten long, you know, right in here. But definitely this like little section right here. I'll even draw your little UFO on it. It's definitely, you know, anywhere in that area could have been shorting with a pretty defined risk, and you know, we see it worked out pretty well. So, you know, risk a $0.50 to make $3. So that's like easy 3 to 1. And so what's my setup is like failure on the daily chart coupled with you know, recent volume in play, and just Cove L, and then the trigger being the intraday setup of, you know, the tight consolidation, which is also the entry. So it was definitely, you know, I thought that was one worth mentioning that I missed last night. But, you know, I was happy that I caught Riot. But, you know, I got to be thinking about this because, you know, the biggest wide range day of, you know, is like $6. So not only, you know, from the prior day's close, we close at you know, 23, and then gap up to 20, 25, 26, you know, and then from there we went up. So I entered somewhere in here, which was like, that's okay. Then the fact that we go up, you know, $5, or if you're talking about the whole range of the day, we're up like $7. So it's like the widest range bar it's ever done. And me at all-time highs is great. But, you know, maybe this isn't a situation where I see from, you know, my entry, if I just kind of wait, if I stick around like I should have been yesterday. So okay, like we went up, you know, the full range, you know, $6, like within the first like 2 hours of trading. Maybe I'd be on guard a little bit more. As we start to go sideways here, maybe I move my stop up. Definitely on this change of character, I'd be getting out if I was still watching that live. So I mean, just talking about reasons to sell, and come into that like paying attention live. So you know, wide range ATR met, kind of like the quickness of the move, and also change of character, definitely right there. So we can get on the spike from where I was at. Still even got a 3-to-1. Ideal if I was entering there, should have been more of like a 6-to-1. So, but I mean, Juno we obviously saw was another like 6-to-1. So, just trading good stocks leads to good trades. But DPW, Nicky got Peltner, definitely want to see something. So let's keep an eye over 580s, 580, 585. Sink it easily, start spilling over. But DPW, I've kind of noticed like all the moves that have come in this to the long side have been like late day moves. So, I don't know if it's gonna stay like that. Cans at 420. So Marvel, was talking about that setup yesterday. So we have broken out through the past like 4 days sideways range. How are we acting now that we're up here? So I wanted to see us kind of go sideways some more and hold higher above this level, but maybe just today's not the day. It was kind of looking at the relative volume. I'm just like, okay. It's not anything like these days, right? So this volume is not anything like this. So when I see kind of this sort of relative volume, maybe that'll be the day it's ready to go. So you said timing up these like swing trade setups is the hard part as intraday traders. So it's definitely like keep an eye on it. If we start getting above 2250, and that's what we want to see. So Nectar, it's kind of like see what Nectar does if we break above to 56.25. So we're kind of nearing the intraday high, or the all-time high. So let's see what kind of price action we got here. Volume is looking sort of weak from what I can tell from the daily right now. Yeah, so volume's not great, but we definitely want to see how we act around this like 56.30-ish level. So we'll just keep an eye on that. Saw a couple overlapping days on home, but this you don't want to be interested in this until it's above 30. But there's definitely some volume here in the background. So yeah, talking about the also swing setup in SQ. So kind of eyeing these lows here, and see how we act once we get below here. Obviously, the first target would be the bottom of this range, but change of character, and we're seeing like, is this a bounce? Is this whatever? But definitely some weakness here, like change of character, going sideways, closing down off the highs. Naked gap up that day worked, so it's just like some weakness here. I think maybe people shorting it in here, so wouldn't mind see if we hold below the Coval level. Keep an eye on this guy. So like that opened up, kind of chopped sideways. Obviously this is like an arbitrary line I just drew here. Let's just make it at the Cobell. That'll be simple enough. That lines up just fine. And then, alright, so now what we want to see price hold, sideways below the level, or give us some sort of continuation, like entry pattern. Now we're after 10 o'clock. We're full Cobell. Open higher. We like that. So weakness in the background on the daily. So that's like 1, 2, 3 things going for it right there. If we get a nice like continuation entry or just like some long sideways, like it's worth keeping an eye on. So. It's like not trying to do too much either. Just checking through. Thinking like, okay, Harmony, naked gap to the midline yesterday. Could also been a setup for short, right? I had a buddy who was trying to go long this on this day, and I was like, good luck, man. So, maybe he got lucky and got out on the gap open. That would have been fantastic for him. Yeah. So just what, like form a runner. This is the setup and the trigger, right? Like naked gap up in a stock that's gone to shit, like after this big run, right? So that's setup and the trigger. Alright, so we're going to do the super active today scan with also the penny volume scan. I haven't really scanned this much. I'm just trying this out just to see if anything good does pop off from this. Yeah, this is anytime this shit happens, like all these halts or there's not even halts, just like no volume. Shit's ugly to me. Yeah, it's like the good ones are already on my list. Feels like. Should just be more of the same, I feel. So this is a more precise one in my price range. OCLR. Yeah. A little sideways here. I mean, what is this? Like a, Babcock and Wilcox. Yeah, no. Okay. Anyway. So, DVW, that's obviously why we wait till later. So if it breaks out above here, maybe for long, for short, the question is like, how do you short this? Naked gap Keltner is the setup. We want what, like a, I guess you could throw in a short here, right? So we kind of failed to go up, and then maybe you could call this a change of character and could go short through here. This is not, my favorite shorts and triggers are definitely like taking the bane of my existence and turning it on its head and doing the opening spike, look at the naked gap into an opening spike to set up short. So those are definitely more what I like if I'm going to do a counter trend trade. Alright, so SQ pretty convincingly through the prior day's low. Now we just want to wait for either a prior, support becomes resistance entry, or we want to see some, long sideways under here. Maybe give us a place so we can enter. But, also, 1, 2, 3 touch level. No surprise why some volume's coming in here, and why it's breaking down. So it's not like the greatest volume in the world either. But, good things happen when you trade Covels. So it's about as simple as it needs to be. So, that's like little sideways, like failure across the VWAP. Yeah, I suppose we talk about trend trades don't need to happen within the opening range. And this is where you kind of have to enter these things before they, move too far. So, I don't think it would be wrong to throw on a short here. You risk 15 cents, and God forbid I say the words gap fill, but there is a 15 cents down to the prior day's high would be down to 65. So 4 to 1 if you got just down there. But I definitely think the daily chart setup speaks higher. Coming off a really long base, and then we get up to the all-time highs. I'm not in any rush to short this ahead of time. I would just rather miss the short and wait for this thing to kind of consolidate near the high of day, or approach the high of days, and not miss that long, rather than trying to jump in on the short too early. Because definitely there are people who are seeing this and are going to short it, right? And so they're starting to get squeezed out if we start to make new, start getting close to the new all-time high. Right now, there's probably people entering short right now. So, see about what could happen. I obviously don't know where it's going to go. So the SQ's popping up a couple. So yeah, if this comes back here in the next few minutes, maybe make a nice little window. We give us a little flag on the 5-minute chart. So. Yeah, old Sean would have been like, oh, I'm gonna miss it. Don't do it. Think about your family. It's alright, so approaching low day, you know, if we crack here or flip through VWAP, you know, might be a time, but I don't wanna be early. So I'll see what's good in the hood. I'm afraid to, so I have this on the monitor to my right, and then my laptop is over on this side. So I'm afraid to see what happens if I like click on Twitter. I really don't want to fuck up and have a secondary video, or like have to make 2 videos. But I guess we'll do that. I'm gonna go for it. I'm just gonna try to click on Twitter, see what happens. Video's still running. Alright, so I can go to the other tab. Just like, Twitter's just like blah blah, Bitcoin, blah blah. This shit's funny though. Like, there's definitely some good memes coming from Bitcoin. So, got that going for it at least. So yeah, so now, you know, with SQ, we're gonna wait till it retests the, you know, the prior day's low area, which we'll say was a multi-touch level, right? I mean, obviously, you know, drawing lines doesn't make anything significant, as we talked about. But definitely, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4. We touched it yesterday, so I'd say it was, and the fact that it like knifed through there today shows the significance. But it's, you know, it's the daily chart picture. It's like, you know, weakness in the background, and then getting to that Covell. So now, you know, if we retest this, prior support becomes resistance, or just kind of like, you know, go in a sideways range. Might be looking for a place to control my risk. Alright, DP dubs, maybe getting ready to go. On day 525. Moment of truth. There's definitely people up here what shorted, right? And like shorted, I mean, are they covering? But yeah, if you got short and, you know, threw your stop in 15 cents and quick 3 to 1 and, yeah, 30 minutes conservatively. Maybe my attention's better spent on SQ. Didn't really see a whole lot moving around today. Just a lot of gaps and gap up, go up right off the open. Maybe those little, you know, counter trend. Are we really like truly overextended? Couple free bars, you know, but just call the naked gap up. Change character. Is that a good short in VRX? You would say, you tell me, man. But yeah, so that's the setup, gap up, go up, change character, and then short the first pullback. Shorten here for 15 cents and counter trend trade. Make a quick, what was that? Quick 5 to 1, 6 to 1. So it's just an idea. I have a friend who was entered on this day, actually, and he wanted to swing trade it. So, encourage 3-day rolling stop a la Mark Fisher. We'll see if he listens. Alright. See if this little LOD holds up. Yeah, so alright, if we don't break to new daily lows and just keep going sideways, we'll definitely, keep an eye heading to 580. Let's see Square go sideways. I mean, I wanted to definitely spend some time down here. Spend time down here or retest here. I just keep saying the same shit, but people taking out mortgages to buy Bitcoin. That's gonna work out great. I know, right? Definitely, this is definitely a swing trading setup, right? But as we talked about with Mark, you can take, right? I just really love how you talk about taking the swing trading setup and then using those, indicators intraday to give us a, to try to get our timing right for it. Because, like you said, you get intraday risk with swing reward, and that's what's up. I'm all about that life. I'm also concerned that I'm very biased in Square now. I've been trying to short Square, and I'm definitely concerned that I might be looking at this in a closed-minded manner, but I believe I'm being objective on what I'm seeing. So we're going sideways here for 15 minutes, holding pretty strongly below the level. Maybe call it 30 minutes below the level is what I want to see. So from 10:15. So if it breaks, it breaks. Whatever. Then I missed it, but I'm willing to wait for a little bit more consolidation. I don't feel comfortable. I'll tell you right now. I feel very much like I want to enter right now, but you know we just made this move, so I want to give it a chance to kind of work off some of that. But you know it's looking like it's not to crack, and I'm feeling I very much feel like I should enter right now. Like that's what my like emotions are telling me, but you know my emotions are shitty traders, so um, I'm definitely gonna just not do that, and I'm gonna wait 15 more minutes, and if it goes sideways, then I'll you know throw in a short there, and if I fucking miss it, then I miss it. So whatever. I wish I had some defense about the Titans. I do not. Chargers, like they just been coming out of nowhere. Philly Rivs just like dropping dimes everywhere, and Keenan Allen's a beast. But yeah, getting smoked by the Cardinals is is some bullshit, man. We got to be able to put up more than 7 points, but red zone turnovers and fucking. I want Mariota to be good so badly. I really do. So, kind of just trying to decipher the picture. So, you know, volume coming through an accent yesterday. If we get above, you know, this high right here, 1770, you know, am I making up a trade there? Like, I don't know, man. Because, you know, definitely had a strong impulse move. Definitely had to change the character down, but volume's still, you know, pretty damn good as far as like being above average in volume. So um, that's what's important. Kind of cooling up today. I mean, I don't want to be trading in the prior day's range, of course, but yep, I'd say that was that. That was El Momento and Square. Risk 20 cents and I don't know, man. I don't know. So I wonder if I like talk myself out of this, you know, like trying to ask too much of it. You know, what I said, I already said that we got a daily chart weakness, kind of like, you know, we got our change character on the daily, plus, you know, the closing down off the highs, kind of breaking of the past few days lows. We got a multi-touch level, we got a higher open, we got sideways off the open, we're full cove L after 10 o'clock, sideways for 15 minutes, you know, maybe I should have thrown on that short. But, you know. I guess this is where we come into, you know, having a defined plan, right? Like, if I have objective rules that I'm going to follow. But you know, obviously there's, you know, like there's always a time to break your rules. But you know, if I know like, okay, like after this I'm going to wait 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you know, 15 minutes, like, that should be plenty of time. And I could maybe short right in here. Prior support becomes resistance. So, of course, now I feel like I missed out, and now I feel like I want to chase and jump in this thing. Where's the real stop here? Like, the real stop is VWAP. And we already said, though, you know, like the volume is not that great off the open. So that's kind of the biggest sign, I think. Also trying to justify, you know, why I'm right instead of missing the trade. But I think with all those things, dude, I think I just gotta throw in this fucking trade and just risk a quarter. So I'm gonna short 300. Don't have any hotkeys set up for TC 2000 yet, so. Not that I am cursed, but I feel like almost assuredly that I said I was going to wait and I didn't, and then it broke and then I got in. That this is that behavior that, you know, I think I've consistently done in the past that has led to losing. You know, at least in here we're kind of back touching that range, like maybe get a better fill right in here, even if I don't fucking know, man. Yeah, so when I get stopped out, you can just laugh at me. Just laugh at me all you want. I don't know what the fuck I ate earlier. My stomach is just like. Ugh. So, you know, maybe something like this, if I miss this and kind of this entry, maybe over here, you know, definitely chasing right here and killing my risk. You know, the idea on a wide range day here is, I mean, I think these are maybe outliers. If you call like, it was one of these is $3. We moved, you know, a buck in this day, so even just to the bottom of this range at 36. So yeah, risking 30 cents is 6 to 1. We'll see what goes on though. Definitely a fucking shitty entry though. Like, come on, man. So we got all the you know, setup and trigger and all that shit. My entry was pretty piss poor. Let's look at that. Let's look at that from the 5-minute, John. Alright, so still scoping DP dubs. Touched the low day, but nothing happened, so, you know, flip through VWAP, volume, you know, starts coming in and start hovering just right near these, you know, high days right here. It's 580. Yeah, could squeeze some shorts, so I'm gonna keep an eye on that. Got about 18 minutes left in this video. Alright, so touch the low day, going sideways here. Some more people got short up in here. Alright, this would have been, you know, just wait, man. I fucking, yeah, even here, just chasing, like, yeah, even if I enter here and I get stopped out, at least that's, I can risk more appropriately, and that's just not a shitty entry. This is a pretty embarrassing. So in that riot yesterday, it's not as bad as this. It's pretty ugly. Even if it comes down and starts making new lows, I'm not in a position of psychological strength, right? I got in at fucking 51, which is not that horrible compared to 57, but still. So not being in a position of psychological strength, this is so much fun. It's my favorite. I think the biggest indicator here is that lack of volume. You know, we'll see how this ends up resolving at the end of the day. It was pretty tight yesterday. Just like, really like that. Like, so. It's obviously different from Square, but it just looks like it's, you know, price action is just much cleaner. And then, you know, as we start to tighten up here, you could even throw in a trade there. Definitely as we, you know, start holding, you know, holding, throw in anywhere in here. Risk up there, you risk up, you know, above VWAP, whatever you wanted to do. But this is a really good idea. I don't know why I haven't been doing this myself. Like, just wanting to watch the tape, because I mean, you do study a lot from, you do glean a lot from watching game tape. You can see, you know, like chasing after missing optimal entries 2 days in a row. You know, I think a lot of things were positive as far as my stock selection and Riot yesterday and Square today. You know, Roku even, I mean, but like the entry yesterday and, you know, the trigger yesterday is because what we're talking about, you know. Is this really, this is the Paradise High, you know, is that really some sort of amazing level, and what we spent like, you know, 8 minutes above it, you know, 15 minutes above the level, you know, it has to be my litmus test. Derp. Derp dum. Is this an A+ trade? I'll say no. But I definitely do think this is a trade, you know. Definitely don't think this is some like measured bullshit that I've been doing lately, but yeah, was there an A+ trade today? Maybe this, you know, off the open. But you know, are we truly overextended here? Like, you know, I don't think so. Talking about fading all-time highs too. But you know, it's an actionable level. You know, 52-week highs, and we just kind of 50% in a month and a half, which, you know, it's fair. But, you know, up 25% in 3 days. I don't really know if there's a setup there. Yeah. Anyway, we keep eyeing DPW and see what happens with this square short. You know, I think obviously we're still in, you know, this big mess is, you know, we're breaking this level, but we're still got this level to contend with, and this ultimate low down here. So if we just line her up, that. Something like that. Obviously I can make these levels to fit whatever I want, right? But so the more zones than actual prices, and who is that? Like JC Parrots or something was talking about. He used to draw their support levels, or maybe Brian Shannon, about like draw support levels with crayons instead of just little lines, because they're a little thicker to kind of give you, you know, more of the idea of the zone that they exist in rather than a specific price. But I'm prepared to face the harsh judgment, but keep eyeing DPW for late day, as I said. Excuse me. As I said, late day. You know, DPW has been a late day stock that's popped off. You know, has had these gap open this day, went sideways. You know, kind of didn't pop off here. I think late until late in the day. So, you know, there's something like this day where we gapped open, you know, try to sell off. The price action was like on that one day. So yeah, the same deal, right? So it's gonna consolidate and pick a direction. So where later in the day we'll see where it goes. Oh shit, sorry to keep yawning, man. I think I definitely have my eye on two of the best movers today. Or not two of the best movers, but just, you know, trying to find something, and identified VRX, and you know, SQ. I think that's an actionable level, and then DPW is obviously in an area where it could be in play. You know, I was looking at eyes yesterday, and I wanted to quickly talk about eyes, because, you know, and could you legitimately say, I like slid this back some more? Okay, you know, eyes has been volume in play, you know, kind of making, you know, 52-week high, or, you know, 52 has pretty damn close to 52-week highs. But you know, going sideways, volume in play recently, and then, you know, get this like little hover right under the high of day. So enter here, you know, if you really want to be aggressive, you know, 5 cents. Hell, you could even, you know, like the way you trade, you'd risk 2 cents, like right there, and then just, obviously you see, excuse me, from there, that little spot, and then, you know, you could have had yourself a fucking 10 to 1, you know, 5 cents, easy as a, you know, 4 to 1, so I just thought it was worth pointing out from yesterday, too. Once again, that didn't happen until, you know, later in the day. There you go, square. Eat shit. once again, just fucking wait, and I'm if I even enter over here at the same price, at least I've given it time. I haven't chased. I've gone. I've let it go sideways. For 20 minutes under the level. I have a really defined risk areas either here or especially here. And I can trade it with confidence a little bit more. And but yeah, this is unacceptable right here. Even if I enter in here, I'm okay with that. Just waiting like another 5 minutes. Obviously, if I entered in here, that would have been one good trade. But this entry is pretty subpar, and it's going to take more than that to be consistently profitable. So this is winding down. A couple and a half minutes left. Just gonna keep an eye on DPW. Just manage the square short. See what happens with it. But I think just to recap, like, why was this good? Change character on daily, going sideways on daily, kind of weakness in the background in that little range. And we opened up, went sideways, off the open, clean break through a prior multi-touch level. We're full Cobell. It's after 10 o'clock. We're outside the 15-minute opening range. So it's like 4 or 5 things on the checklist right there. And I think when in a spot where you can control your risk, you got to take that trade. So regardless of actually what happens. But yeah, anyway, so this is the difference in having multiple checks in my favor, and then just kind of manage that. And if we see a change of character through VWAP, and DPW volume starts coming in, kind of hover near 580s, keep an eye on that. But I'm really loving this. It's kind of like the video journal. I didn't realize how much you got from film until I was coaching football. You can imagine I wasn't the best surveyor of my own inadequacies when I was I was playing ball, and I didn't want to see my own mistakes, but definitely think it's very critical now, or just how much I got from like watching film as a coach. Just definitely shows the value. So, but it's it's telling that you had to suggest this idea and not me, and then anyway, but I'm just glad to steal it and do it, and thank you for the recommendation. So we'll see how this keeps going, and you get a few days off to binge watch Sean flicks. See how it goes, man. Fucking 15 seconds left on this, and DPW might start popping off here soon. So keep an eye on it.